It's been a dramatic first week in the Transat Café Law, and today we take a look at the Class 40 Leg 2 start in La Coruña. This is the unscheduled stop that they had, and they've now started that second leg on Saturday. And then we take a look at the trackers to see whereabouts the four fleets are. We have some amazing footage of the rescue and also the righting of the Ocean 50 trimarans, which had that trouble on that first night when they started a day early. And then finally we finish with a update from Frankie Klapczyk and Will Harris on 11th hour racing. What has become the second leg for the Class 40 fleet started at 1300 hours local time on Saturday. The teams had taken an enforced break from racing in Spain after the organisers decided the conditions were set to be too rough for the smaller boats. This has split their race into two parts, where the cumulative time from both races decides the overall winner. After leaving the docks in La Coruña, the teams set off upwind in a brisk breeze on port tack to exit the Bay of Biscay and start their Atlantic crossing towards the finish line in Martinique. Enjoy this footage of the departure before we take a look at the trackers to see how the race is unfolding in the Ultim, Ocean 50, IMOCA and Class 40 fleets. The Ultim fleet are approaching the archipelago of St. Peter and St. Paul, which is their rounding mark before they turn towards Martinique. In the lead is SVR Lazartigue with Tom Laperche and Frank Camas, and followed about 80 nautical miles behind by Sodebo Ultim 3 and Actual Ultim 4. And then about 100 miles behind them is Maxi Banque Populaire, which hasn't managed to make the gains that they were looking at just after they had to make their pit stop in Lorient. The 7 remaining yachts in the Ocean 50 fleet have now made their turn at the Cape Verde Islands, and so they're now travelling west towards Martinique. Eden Red 5 is in the lead with just under 2,000 nautical miles to go, and that's Emmanuel Laroche and Basile Bernion. The battle in the IMOCA fleet is fascinating, with the fleet spread either side of the Canary Islands before they make their turn west towards Martinique. And in the lead we can see we've got Charal, that is Jeremy Bayou and Morgan Le Gravier, ahead of 11th hour racing, which is Frankie Klapczyk and Will Harris. A little bit behind them now is Massif, which is Sam Goodchild and Louise Berhard. And behind that is Justine Metro and Xavier Macaire on Team SNEF Teamwork. It's early days for the Class 40 fleet in their Leg 2, but already we can see tactical options in play, with the fleet pretty much evenly splitting either side of the exclusion zone just to the west of La Coruña. At the moment, it looks like the southerly option may have paid off, with Maccaferri Futura, that's Luca Rossetti and Matteo Serricano, in the lead, but it may be that the boats which are slightly to the north are in more pressure, so we're going to see how this one plays out. It was a week ago that we woke up to the dramatic news that 3 of the Ocean 50 trimarans had capsized in the 12 hours after their start. They'd set off last Saturday, a day earlier than the other 3 fleets, trying to avoid the worst of the conditions. We've received this footage of the Laser crew rescue and also some video of Cuezo being lifted off the beach in Guernsey, then righted with cranes to be taken back to their home ports to assess the damage and make repairs.
Allez, tu viens en avant nous pour 2 mètres, et tu viens à droite nous pour 3 mètres. Roger. Allez, tu peux glisser, tu viens sur l'arrière et sur la gauche. Go, on est posé dans 2 minutes au détachement, à plus tard.
Descend slowly pour le glissement descend. Slowly, slowly.
Hey all, Frankie here from 11 Hour Racing, just around the Canaries Island. Around here we can find up to like 20 different species of dolphins and whales. From really like fun and playful whales, you can see them sometimes just jumping around our boat, to really giant pilot whales. It's a really special, of course, place in the ocean, in the Atlantic Ocean. At the same time we need to be really careful. On board we have a system that is called the hazard button. That allowed us to send a report if we notice any life on the water. Of course, is to keep the animal safe in the first instance and to avoid other vessels to hit it. The other thing is also we do what we call citizen science. We send a report to a website that keep tracking of the different megafaunas that we can encounter. That really keep track of a bit where there's like temples of animals are around these islands and overall in the Atlantic.
Last moments of sunlight. Full speed into the trade winds. Woo-hoo-hoo! It's good to be here. Only another week of this. Let's go.
Thank you for watching today. Please do subscribe to our channel using the button down here, and also take a look at sailworld.com and yachtsandyachting.com for the latest news on this event and many more events in the world of sailing.